Thank you to everyone who reached out after my last post. We had some great conversations. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in the real estate market, specifically here in Silicon Valley and the surrounding areas. A very important ask. If you find this helpful, subscribe to the channel, share with someone else, and if you'd like to connect with me, you can reach out through the links in the comments. Let's start with a recent CNBC study on potential home buyers and what they're most concerned about today: the economy, prices, mortgage rates, and rising inventory. Coming into the year, expectations were high. We shared that we were in a fairly balanced, normal market, and we should see stronger pending sales alongside a much needed increase in inventory. Also, the biggest variable this year would be the mortgage rates, and that has absolutely played out, driven by factors most people didn't fully anticipate. So let's unpack what's really happening right now, starting with supply and demand, the number one measure of any housing market. Today, I'm focusing on Santa Clara County and Alameda County. In Santa Clara County, single family homes, 1,429 active homes, 673 pending homes. That's a 47.1% absorption rate. Two other segments: 3+ bedroom townhomes and condos, 386 active, 144 pending. That's 37.3% absorption rate. Now 2 to 1 bedroom townhome and condos, there's 672 active, 172 pending. That's 24% absorption rate. In Alameda County, single family homes, 1,253 active homes, 675 pending homes. That's 53.9% absorption rate. The other two segments, 3+ bedroom townhomes, 289 active, 105 pending. That's 36.3% absorption. 2 and 1 bedroom townhome condos, 524 active, 150 pending. That's 28.6% absorption rate. To put the data into context, absorption rates above 60% typically indicate a seller's market. Multiple offers, fewer contingencies, and faster sales. Around 35% or lower leans towards a buyer's market, where more negotiations and longer days on market. What we're seeing right now is a very segmented or bifurcated market. One interesting trend: there are significantly more fully remodeled homes hitting the market. In one neighborhood, we're tracking about 70% of the inventory is newly remodeled, compared to a typical 25%. That creates stronger competitions for sellers who haven't updated their homes. Microclimates are very strong and varied right now. Conditions can change from street to street. Factors like schools, commute, and even a vanity city name, think Los Gatos versus San Jose, still matters a lot. Despite all the noise out there, this is a balanced, normal market. In fact, price reductions in Santa Clara County are down 7% compared to this time last year. And looking deeper into the actual MLS data, single family homes in Santa Clara County are up 2.5% year over year, sitting just under 2.6 million. In Alameda County, they're up 8.4% at just under 1.6 million. Both markets are at all-time highs and they're holding steady. Inventory itself is down 1% year over year, even though it was already historically low, and pending sales for single family homes have increased every month this year. Now, on the flip side of that bifurcation, townhomes and condo prices are down year over year, 4% in Santa Clara County and 5.3% in Alameda County. They're both at their lowest average price of the year and the lowest we've seen them in about 3 years. That tells a very clear story. With high interest rates, entry-level and first-time buyers are most impacted, but that also creates opportunity. There are strategies right now, like negotiating seller-paid rate buydowns, that can significantly improve affordability. That's often a win-win for both buyer and seller. As far as affordability, on a $2 million mortgage in the Bay Area compared to mid-2025, buyers today need roughly $20,000 less in income to qualify at a similar ratio, and the payment is about $500 less per month. At the same time, wages in the Bay Area have increased year over year. On the economic side, unemployment is holding steady at 4.3%, and 172,000 jobs were added nationally in May, well above expectations. The trade-off is that rates are unlikely to drop quickly. One more important concept: the waves of the market. When things heat up, demand typically moves in this order: single family homes, then 3-bedroom townhouse and condos, 2-bedroom, and then 1-bedroom. When things slow down, it reverses. Right now, what we're seeing is a market that is stable. It's not overheating and it's not crashing. Despite major external pressures from global conflicts to economic uncertainty, we're holding steady, and that should tell you something. There's a lot of narratives out there right now about mortgage rates, foreclosures, job, and what's next. I'm gonna break those down in a separate series of videos this week so you can clearly understand what actually matters. My overall take is that we're experiencing small steps that are improving affordability on a larger scale, and that, my friends, is healthy. Here's what I know. People buy homes for lifestyle reasons: stability, raising a family, having control over their living situation. Appreciation is a great long-term benefit, but it's usually not the primary driver. And people make intentional choices and trade-offs to make that happen. So if you're thinking about buying, here's the question I want you to consider. Have you actually taken the time to walk through the differences in the market, 4-bedroom versus 2-bedroom, one neighborhood versus another, so you can make a fully informed decision? And as a home seller, have you made a personalized strategy for your home in your particular segment of the market? If not, that's exactly what we do. Reach out to me directly to get the real data, the real deal, and create the perfect strategy for you. I'm Paulino, and thank you for watching.